Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. How are you? How are you guys?
Hello, hello.
Hello, there's Natalie Acosta, my
Hi,
awesome helper.
everybody.
Um, Let me go ahead and shut off my phone here. I was just making sure everything was working well. Okay. All right, you guys. Last day of the month, January 2022. I am Anna DeShields. Natalie Acosta is my partner in crime. She is our moderator, and I'm truly thankful for her. She's poured a lot into me professionally and personally. And so, any questions you might have, she'll take care of you in the chat. And, I was listening to Nano this morning, and I met him at the Women's I Am event a couple weeks ago in Orlando. And was really then able to get plugged into him. And since then, wow, he really just he just really pours into you, right? With so much knowledge. And what I took away with him today was he said, are you guys doing an audit on yourself? Like the end of the month audit. Where are you at? What have you accomplished? Because whatever it is today, the end of this month is what you'll see at the end of next month. So I thought, you know what? That's power. That's fire there. And I can apply it on so many different levels. But how I want to bring it into tonight is all of you guys that have joined in these series of Mark Up Your Charts. You know, I think I started it in October. Maybe it was in October or November. But all of you that have been continuously, if you can get on or the recordings, look where you're at now. I hope that from 90 days from now, from that point, you're a little bit more comfortable in how to mark up your charts, because we all need to do those audits. And being on Lee's team, and just, I'm so thankful for her. I'm so thankful for Lee Allen. We all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her talent and her blessing that God has put on her. And I am truly thankful for that. So, I'm going a bunch of different places, but really, I just want to say that, all of you that have come here and learning how to do something, you're now seeing your manifestation 90 days later, and doing this self audit at the end of the month. You're here again tonight, the last night of the month. And then next month, we have the series, a new one coming up. But doing that audit and seeing where you're at as a trader and applying your skills, I really hope you guys are happy with what the result was, what you came up with. So with that, welcome. I am excited, have kind of a new outlook for tonight. I do want to kind of just make my announcements, and definitely want to be aware that we're going to look at the lower time frames tonight. We're going to look at the lower time frames of marking up our chart. I actually did a markup earlier of GBP JPY, and I'd love to show that with you. And then I know I want to be conscious of our time, but I think tonight, if there are people that are interested, if someone wants to come up and share their screen and actually have you do it, and we have some interactive, see if you want to do it that way. That way, then maybe we're hearing it and learning it from another point of view, something that I'll keep saying I might miss that I'm saying. So if any of you guys are interested in, I'll share the screen, and then you share your screen, and we'll go through the steps. So just let me know when we get to that point if you'd like to do that. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into our workshop here. Okay. So here's our schedule. The 7th, next Monday, is going to be the last night of Mark Up Your Charts Overview Series 3. Going to be kind of sad that we're leaving off here, but we did a lot. The first 2 series I showed you all the steps. Each step we broke them down into weeks, and then this last series 3, we just do it all in one night. So we'll be wrapping that up tomorrow, next Monday on the 7th. The registration link will be open tomorrow. I'll send that out with the email. And what else do we got? Oh, our 4-week intensive labs on pivots. That starts this weekend. I'm super excited at 1 p.m. It's going to be every Saturday at 1 p.m. for an hour and a half. Alert, this is not a boot camp or a review. Okay, I know we've done workshops, reviews, boot camps. This is not. This is where we're hitting our foot to the pavement and getting right in to intensively look at the pair that you want to know about. How does it behave? What are its characteristics? What do I need to learn? Or what are the things that I need to learn about my pair? We're going to do the back testing of it, of the prior week, what it's done, then anticipate and see what we come back next week. And then we'll review that. I actually was able to do some more work on it. Natalie is also my partner on this. So we were able to come up with some really good ideas and content and how we want to organize it. I love her feedback because she brings in a different light, more of like the student that would come in and the type of questions they would ask. So I want to share a document really quickly with you and kind of just give you a little brief look of what you kind of could expect from this event. Let's see if this will come up correctly. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. 4-week intensive labs on pivots, a summary of topics, patterns and characteristics of your pair, what to look for, applying trading concepts, and back testing. But now just kind of breaking that main part down, we're going to see, for the patterns and characteristics of your pair, what time it moves, that the moving averages, how does your pair respond to them on all the different time frames? Tools, what tools are you using for your pair, and how does your pair respond to these type of tools put on them? The fibs, the learning helper, the ruler, as well as your pivot levels, your channels. How does your pair, or how does this pair, we're digging into it. How does it respond to all these different analysis tools? Then the trading concepts. We're going to look at the support and resistance, the type of candles, what happens with the type of candle, what goes on during the when it experiences the moving averages coming up. Also applying our moving average strategies. The trading concepts here are momentum, indicators, counting pips, risk management. So we'll be going through that. And confluence. What is confluence? Join me and we'll find out. These are all concepts that we've learned from Lee Allen, right? So now we're just digging the bones, getting our feet, grabbing onto the body tight and learning everything about our topic. Now, for me, what I'll be using as my pair is Bitcoin, right? Because I that's my pair. And so I'll be kind of using that as a reference. But when you come, you're going to have your pair and how you can learn about it in this really intensive 4-week workshop. Patterns and characteristics, what do I look for? So here's some of the nitty gritty breakdown that we're going to be going over and what it entails. So really a great opportunity to just get to know and apply what we've learned. So when you come to the class, I'd like for you to already have your pair marked up. This isn't like the review. This is actually, we're getting in and we're doing the work. So I've had a few people sign up and I'm very thankful for them. And they have a questionnaire that they'll fill out so I can kind of understand how to go ahead and really center the information that we'll go over. But also I want to put out there too, that if you're not able to come on the 5th, no problem. Things happen. Maybe the finances just aren't right there right now. You can go ahead and maybe sign on week 2. You'll get the recordings for week 1 and then just catch up with us the next week. So that is, you don't have to start right then on the 5th. But, and then the special offer I'm offering is refer a friend and get 2 free sessions with me. You can do 2 free sessions with a one-on-one, or maybe you have you're a mentor and you want your mentee to come in and kind of get some things explained. That was a great idea that Natalie had. So I'm putting that out there as well. Or if that's not something you'd like, then you guys, if you go ahead and refer a friend, so instead of you guys paying $90, you'll pay $75. And That's on my website. You can go ahead and sign up that way. If you want to do the special offer, notify me and I'll send you the promo code, or you can go ahead and just pay it and then pay the regular price and then notify me afterwards and I'll refund you the money right away. That's okay. So that's what I wanted to say about that. But I kind of don't want to be so like technical. I want to be more relaxed on it. That just a really good opportunity for you guys to be able to get into something different than what our team, Lee Allen's team, has been able to offer to the community. So just really excited about it, and I hope you guys can join on. All right. Now, this is a chart that is on the website too. This is a chart that you can download, and hopefully Natalie can put it in the chat for me. It's what we use to write down all of the information that we find out when we mark up our charts. So you write the date, what pair you're marking up. PLTF stands for pivot level time frame. So on the day, you would say, what pair you're doing. The day, is it trending? Is it buying or selling? What is it doing on the 4-hour time frame? What is it doing on the 1-hour time frame, the 30-minute, the 15-minute? What is the trend? Then for the channel, where is it at on the 1 hour in the channel? You would write that information down here. You would write it down on the 15-minute. Probably the 30-minute might be kind of near the same thing, right? But your 1 hour to your 15-minute could be considerably different. So that's kind of how you read this chart. So if you guys want to go ahead and print that out now, or just look at it while we're going through this, how to actually mark up the chart, I think that would be pretty helpful. And again, this is on my website where the recordings are, so you can get that there too. And this is the second page for it. Okay. And this is kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like filled out. Here, LASB, the orange LAS on the 1 hour, I said it was on the 80 line, meaning like it was at the 80 getting ready to sell down. And then here for the moving averages, this is kind of interesting. This is how you kind of fill this out, is the 20, meaning the black line, the 20 or the 21. You guys might use the 20 or 21. It was, for me, for Bitcoin, I was doing this markup. It was 1,066 pips away from the 20. It was 4,000 pips away from the 50 EMA and 5,000 pips from the 200 on the day. 4,000 points. That's nothing for Bitcoin, especially these past couple of days and the prior weeks. It's really done some big moves on short time periods. So that's why I actually get right down to the nitty gritty, because something like this, 1,000 pips on the day from the 20 really is nothing, but it is very good information that I want to know. So that's kind of how I fill out that moving averages section. Any questions? I see some stuff in the chat. Let me see that, because I know Natalie had some things she had to look at too while she's on with me. Okay. And then Natalie will go ahead and put my contact information in there just in a second when she can. Excuse me. All right. So yeah, let's keep going. And summary of the steps on marking up your charts. We're going to identify the trend, channels. You throw your fib on, you mark your heartbeat zone, the 5061.8, set your alert for these areas and use your position tool. But again, tonight, we're going to look from the 1 hour and down, because maybe some of you guys are intraday and you're scalping. So this will be something that will be good for you guys to look at. And these are the colors that Lee uses, that we use when we mark up our charts. So again, this is a review. This is the same presentation from last week. If you go to the recordings on my website, which is www.annadeshields.com, under the resources tab is all the recordings from series 1 back in October all the way to date. So you can find that there. And let's see. We're getting to the end of the slide deck. Again, just the schedule. we'll do one more session of this this Monday coming up. And that is not Super Bowl weekend, is it? I don't think so. All right. Now, what do I want to say? Oh, and our homework. The homework for tonight. Now, you guys, I know I've been kind of busy this past week getting the class for this new class coming up in February, getting that information together and a couple other things I had to do. So I haven't really been in the homework chat like I want to, but I have noticed just a few submissions. Feel free to go ahead and just ask any question in there. I'll be happy to answer, as well as other people that are in the chat too. Like there's over 100 and some people in there, guys. So really just a resource that I wanted to put out there for you to get help. Because when I first started, I was asking all kinds of questions on Lee's team. It was like, oh, there she is again. So the more we ask, the more we learn. Remember, we want to go ahead and put some good seed in our minds and make sure that we're doing what we need to be doing to make these affirmations come to pass. All right. Let's go. So this is the homework for this week. Just go ahead and put it in the chat all week, and it will be due next week. And I did want to talk about this last line of defense, but you know what? I'm not going to get into that right now. I really just want to get into the charts, and then I'll explain this concept. So let's go ahead and do that. Boy, that was 18 minutes already. Okay, so here we are. I decided to do GBP JPY, a markup on that. Now this has already been marked up. I did this earlier this afternoon, and going ahead and just applying our steps, right? So I have these. Can you guys see the pivots? Put a one in the chat. Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome. One. Okay. So here we are on the 1 hour. Now I want to duplicate this so we can use it as a reference. Hold on. Let me move this sticky from my monitor. All right. So GBP JPY. Last GBP JPY. All right, make sure that's right. GBP JPY, GBP JPY. All right, here we go. And then let me see something. Okay, here we go. That's what I want. Let's see you guys. I couldn't see you guys earlier. It looks like I'm just talking to crickets. All right, so the first step for marking up our charts is to identify the trend. So I know I said we're going to go ahead and do the lower time frames, but if you are just going in and going to do the lower time frames, you would quickly go down to the 4 hour just to double check and make sure. And then this is a pair that I don't trade, so I definitely want to make sure I know what it's doing. And on the 4 hour, I see that we are been buying up on the short term since January. So that's just like what, 6 days ago, not that much. So the overall trend is selling. Okay, so I'm going to write this down too, because I'll forget. So in that chart there that you have, you would write the pair down, and then you would write on the 4 hour, the overall trend is selling. So it's selling on the 4 hour. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go back to the 1 hour. Now for the 1 hour, we have it buying up. So if I want to go ahead and do an intraday trade, I'm going to say, okay, so I'm going to buy up. Where is price at? These are the type of questions you're going to ask yourself through this, as well as marking up your chart, following the steps. All right. Where is price at in regards to the moving averages, right? To find our trend, price is above the 200 and the 50. So we should be looking for buys, which makes sense with the trend. Earlier today, I think it was a little bit mixed up. Yeah, I was doing it later on that day. Okay, today. All right, so we're going to do our ascending channel since it's buying up. We have our two valleys and our peak. So right now, price is at the bottom of the 1 hour channel. The 1 hour channel should be green. Yes, it's important. We do take the time to change it because we're going to be throwing a lot of different markups on here. And we're this very skillful trader that we are. It's at the bottom of the channel. Everyone throw a 1 in the chat if we should be looking for buys. Yes. Very good. We should be looking for buys. So in the channel, on that chart for the channel for the 1 hour, you would say looking prices at the bottom of the channel, looking for buys. Okay. That's how you would do that. I'm going to throw my extend right on here because I want to see kind of where it should be going. The overall projection. Okay. Should be heading up in this direction. Now, the next thing we want to know is, and I think it's on that chart, is our moving averages. Moving averages, our 200 is right here, and our 50 is right here as well. Now, there is one thing that's missing on this chart, and these are all my other indicators that I want on here too. So let me pause for a minute and change this chart that has the other indicators in there because I want to see where my 21's at, my black 21. I want to see where my 800 is at. All of these things are very important in my move and that apply to us marking up our chart when we fill out that sheet. So let me think about this really quickly because I do have it on here already, but I want to come. Okay, I think we can go ahead and apply what kind of did here. All right. Let me think here for a moment. Just when I think I'm always prepared, I'm not, but I will be. Let's see. Okay, what I'm going to do is, let me use this one. No, that one's all marked up too. No, you know what? This one's okay. I'll use this one. No. Shoot. Okay. I think I can use this one. Yeah, I can. Let me get rid of this. All right. This has all of our oh shoot, the pivot levels aren't showing now. Okay, good. All right, now here we are with all of the indicators on there that are 21 and all those other good stuff. My step, my nine step. All right, so now let me go ahead and throw that channel on here. Parallel channel. Has that array on it that I don't like. All right, so low to high. Sometimes for me, when I have it out like this, further out with the chart expanded too much, I can't see like I like to see when it's closer where I want to put my peaks and valleys, my touches. Actually, here it's not looking too bad. Now, do we want to go down to here? Our lowest low, definitely we could do that and put it up to here at the bottom, or we could just show this touch here and it pulled out of the channel. Move this down. Pulled out of the channel, but moving it to here and then moving up. Let me see if I like that one better. Because remember, if it does break out of the channel, we want to see that happen. But that's a little much. And we're on the 1 hour. So I'm going to go ahead and put it to here. All right, so that when we change that channel, it affects what we had said, right? We had said that it was at the bottom. Now it's a little bit past the bottom, heading back up. So, and then when you squish it back closer, like it is laid out here, we can actually see that touch better than if we had it right here. So this definitely is where we want to start our two valleys. Okay, so our channel it's at the bottom, but has turned up. So that's what I would write. Now I'm going to extend right again. Okay. It's very important that you do follow these steps. Like, do you really need to press the extend right? Yes, it is, because it gives you a projection of what or where it could happen or what could happen. Not having that, you're then just maybe missing out on a train of thought that you should be thinking of when you're marking up your chart. So here, what I want to do is, I wrote this up and I'm going to copy it over. So it's kind of like that checklist, but I don't have to switch back and forth. Okay, analysis, bottom channel, bottom buy. That was a little bit earlier today. Then we say what pivot level it was on, okay? And then here on this one is sort of like what you do with that information that you just came up with. Okay. So here, the channel, it's now not at the bottom, but it's sort of like turned up from the bottom. That's what I would write on my chart. What pivot level is it on now? Now it is past the P4. Earlier today, it was at the P4. So it's past the P4. Okay. Our fib, we haven't done that yet. We have low to high because the trend is buying, okay? And then our moving averages, what we see. I'm gonna take this out real quick because that was earlier. And that was earlier. And then actions to take based off of what we said. For the channel, it's at the bottom. So yes, we can still look for that buy. So the buy is the buy. Number 2, pivot level, past the P4. Just a little bit, it passed the P4, right? Just a little bit. So it could retest the P4 again. See that? It passed it, but it still could retest it. When it gets really close like this, and I'm not sure of this pair, but normally when it gets still really close to these strong pivot levels, you can be sure that, not sure, but the high probability it coming to retest the P4 again before it continues in its direction of the trend. So I would still want to see what happens here, even on the 1 hour. Something that we do have in our favor is the 200 and the 50 are right at the P4. So it might not even make it to that P4 like it normally would because of these moving averages. But in relation to the P4 question, what pivot level is it on? We have here that it is at past the P4. Okay, our action to take, number 2, is not wait on movement, because that's was earlier this afternoon what I was noticing was you would say want it to pass up. Actually, you would want to say want to see it use the MAs as resistant, as support levels. So we need to wait. Not really wait, but like, see what let it close on the 30-minute or 1 hour, see if it's still buying up. Okay. All right. So you guys see how I'm kind of using that. Number 1 is analysis and the action to take from the analysis. Number 2, the action to take from it. Number 3 is the fib. Okay, so now we're going to do our fib because that's our next step in marking up our charts. Oops. All right, so here, and I hope I'm not losing you guys. And I like to make this more like, I hope I just feel like I'm always giving facts and not telling a story. So I'll try to start making these a little bit more interesting. But what I want to ask you guys is, let me do this. We're on the 1 hour, so it should be green, right? Throw 1 in the chat if it should be green. I see ones. Yes, good. All right. Now we see the channel, so I don't really need to see that. I'm going to hide that because I want to show you this. I want to show you this fib. Okay. Right. I started my fib here. Now we've been doing this a lot of weeks now, and hopefully you've really gotten a lot of value from it. And what I want to ask you is if this is the correct area to start the fib. Trying to make the trend line darker so we can see the direction where I started it. Okay. Should I start my fib here? Throw 1 in the chat if you think I should start my fib here, or if I should start my fib here. Right. Yes, the lower one. You want to start it at this one. Okay, perfect. All right, so throwing it on the fib, low to high, and we took it to the peak, and now it's made its pullback to our heartbeat zone. Awesome. So in our analysis section, the fib, low to high, trend is buying, right? What is our action? Wait, number 3, it's right at the heartbeat zone. Awesome. So then we look to Laz. That's our action. We look to Laz to see if it's telling us to get in for the buy because it's at our entry for the fib. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next step in our mark up your chart steps. Darn it. It doesn't want to throw it on there. Okay. Sorry. So I think I could show that really quickly. All right. We're going to mark it up. Here's our heartbeat zone. And we're going to say heartbeat zone. Oops. Okay. Heartbeat zone. We're going to lock our fib so we don't lose any data. Make sure it doesn't move on us because it will change our entries just a little bit. Okay, so low to high, we're looking to get in right here and then TP up to the 11.5. So in our actions to take on number 3, look to last to see if to get in. That's like the next step, but now we're going to go to number 4, which is our moving averages. And I think that's what's on that sheet, that PDF. But the next thought is our moving averages. Where is it at on our moving averages? Where is price at on our moving averages? And that's when I was sharing earlier with it's right here at the 200 and the 50 and the P4. So we need to be mindful, very mindful of that. Look at that. It needs to break through here. I wouldn't want to take this trade until it's closed above our 200. Actually, I probably wouldn't even want to really touch it until it actually passed our 21, this black line here, because we see that it has respected this 21 a lot. So we go back to our information and our moving averages. Our action to take is wait for them to break through or continue down. Okay, that was with me doing it earlier today. We still want wait for them to break through. I don't think it's going to continue down. I just wanted to make sure it breaks through. Okay, so that's that. And then next is Laz. What is Laz now saying though? Is Laz telling us that it's ready to buy up? So we'll bring Laz up. And we will look at what Laz has to say. Is that the P4? Or is it at the P4 or rejecting the P4? Right at the P4. We're coming up to it. Yeah, I want it to pass through that sucker. See that? Break through it, but I needed to go above, up and above beyond there. So our last is on the 1 hour is not at the bottom here. You see that? It's not down past the 20 and turning back up for the nice buy up. It's just playing around. See, it's starting at little peaks, like still maybe some snow on the mountain. So for me to feel comfortable to take this with, especially with all the information that we've learned so far, I really want it to be down here and turned up for the buy up. Now, with that class, if you enrolling in this class, you get to learn a lot more. But as you study the pair, maybe this is just really what it does. It doesn't do too much. It doesn't really go down that much. And if it does go all the way down here normally, then I have a nice shoot up, right? But for me, since I don't trade this pair, I really don't know if that's a good move or not. So I would technically wait for that, for the normal process of waiting for red last to be at the bottom past the 20 to buy up. All right. And that really just goes with, more practice and applying your trading concepts. Okay. So Laz is Wait for it. Yep. So earlier today, it still wasn't where I wanted it at. Okay. All right. So now we have marked up, we've done, I think what steps is that? We have done, let me see on here real quick. We have done steps 1, the trend, the channel, the fib, and now we've shaded in our zone. What on this fib here is missing? Can we put it in the chat? What is there is missing? There's 3 things that are missing on this fib, 3 levels that we're missing. Oops, sorry guys. Yep, the 0.115, the 0.886, and the 0.835. Awesome, Vanessa. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that on. Why do we like the 0.115? Or actually, let me take that off. Shoot. Oh, well, it's too late now. I was going to throw it somewhere different so I can ask you if that was correct. Okay, our 0.115, and we need to add on what else? The 0.886. Very good. 0.886 and our 0.835. Our 0.835, I make that yellow like a traffic light, like, uh-oh, caution, slow down, because that's our suggested stop loss. And then the 886, I make that red along with the 0.786, since that's our last line of defense. I'd like to find a different term and analogy for that because I'm not really a sports fan. But let me think of it. Let me think of a different way to say that real quick. I don't know. I'll say it this way, whatever just came to mind. All right. So the last line of defense, right? It's like if you have a bill collector call and you wait 30 days and then they call it again after the 30 days, it's like you've wasted the amount of time you can wait for it to pay whatever you owed. Now that you might be like going to collections, right? That's like the last area before you really need to take care of whatever you need to take care of. Or you could go with the sports analogy with the last line defense.
Is that the goalkeeper?
Yeah. Right. All right. So that is our last line defense. So we're going to indicate that. And we can make that a different color. We'll just make it black. And then for your homework, you guys, this is what you would do. You would indicate this. Okay, and then the 835 is our TP. I mean, not our TP. What is our, oh, that was a good test. What is our 835 the TP, guys? No, suggested stop loss. Go ahead, Vanessa, you're on fire. Now, suggested stop loss, are you guys doing pretty good with your risk management? Because next month, we're going to be doing risk management series on how to count pips, how to identify how much your 3% is and how many pips that is and all those concepts there. So that'll be good info. Okay, so the 0.835 is our suggested stop loss. I thought you could just pull that sucker down. Oh, that's the wrong one. I haven't really used this call out before. Does anyone know how to make it so you can have it larger? Should let you pull it down. I'm happy it actually said that. Okay, well. 0.835 is your suggested stop loss. Okay. And then our take profit zone, we want to identify that is the 0.115, or you could do it. I always TP to 0.115. Or you could do this zone here. Between the 0.115 and the 0.236. Lee goes to the 0.115. And she makes that green for money. Now, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. So, okay. TP zone. So you guys would say TP zone. All right. So now this is starting to look like our PowerPoint instructions. Okay, now we're on the 1 hour. We've identified our heartbeat zone where we get in. We would set our alerts for this price number 154.69 and also 154.57. Once it goes off, which it now is right where it's at, we did look at LAS. We want to see LAS turning past the 20 more. So what I would do at this point is I would set an alert. Let's see. What I'm thinking is I really want it to pass through these moving averages and not feel like it's going to come back to retest. So I really wouldn't get into this trade until it was at the 38. But that's with me just, using the trading concepts and our experience. But if I did know this pair a lot better, I might not need to make that type of cautious play. So you could I would set an alert right now at the 38 at 154.8.11 and see where LAS is at. If it's turned around and bought up, is turned over the 20 nicely. See how many pips I'm missing out on with that weight. I definitely would wait after the 200 if I did, or I actually would wait after the 20, or if you want to wait after the 200. So what you can do in things like this is measure from where you think you might get in and see how many pips that is. With Bitcoin and stuff like this, with Bitcoin, these little things do mean a lot because it could just be 700 pips. I'll take it. I'll get in because I know where it's going to go and I'll get my 700 pips. Now I just made $700. So something like that I can do. But this one is 9. So 9 pips, I'm just missing out. I'm okay with that. I rather feel comfortable that my trade's going to continue to buy up. So I would set an alert here at the 38, feel more comfortable. All right. Now, so this is our markup for the 1 hour. All right, now I just need to get my thoughts together. Okay. All right, so we have that information. Now we want to go down and go to the lower time frame. So the thing here is with this is that if we wanted to go ahead and do scalps on this, since it's at the P4, it's not even really that ideal to technically go ahead and do that. But let's pretend that it wasn't the P4. Let's pretend it's the S3. So you can kind of see how we would use our markups for the lower time frames. All right, so we're going to go down. Let's say this is the S3. Okay, it's the S3. And I wanted to definitely move past these moving averages. Okay. So we go ahead, we'll go down to the 30-minute and see if the 30-minute. Now, what happens is when you move down to these lower time frames, very important. The first thing is that depending on how fast your pair moves, there might not be that much difference from the 1 hour down to the 30 minutes. You should see a big difference, not a big difference, but a considerable difference from your 1 hour to your 15 minutes. But then you have to say to yourself, okay, I'm on the 15-minute candles. There's a lot more, I'm going to see a lot more movement, but my pivot levels, I want to go down to my M15 pivot levels because I'm looking for a shorter move, but they're not as strong then. So that's what you have to say to yourself. So we'll go down to the 30-minute, see if it's that much different. Okay, see, there's really not that much difference. You see that? See that? Really not that much difference. Our channel is different, right? And oh, you know what? Because I'm on line. I'm not on lines. Okay, so let's see why we didn't choose this candle. Let's look at it. Maybe this was just an action on the 15-minute or 30-minute, excuse me. Okay. Actually, we're kind of off here, aren't we? Okay, boom. That's a good fib right there. So that candle on the 30-minute candle, we have a candle that wick down longer. So that might change, that will change our numbers a little bit, but not considerably. Let's throw this 1 hour and we just want to see it on the 1 hour. Okay. I don't want to see that channel. Where'd that channel come from? All right, we'll just leave it be. We're going to do low to high. 15-minute is what color? This is really important so we don't get things mixed up. Fuchsia? Light tan. Now, what type of questions are you guys having? Because you're really spending time on here to learn, and there's no brown, is there? That's not light tan. Okay, we're just going to do brown. All right, so for here on our 30-minute, our heartbeat zone on the 1 hour, this is our 1 hour data. So the heartbeat zone is just a little bit lower, but still, see, not that much because of this one candle down here. Not that much difference. So in that case, I really just then measure, right? How many pips difference am I really impacting here? This is a Forex pair, not a indices pair. where this could be a big difference. Four pips. 4 pips, 4 pips lower of an entry. Okay. Now let's go down to the 15-minute. Go from the 1 hour to the, well, it's going to get a little confusing. But all right, here's our 15-minute. Our 15-minute, look at here, we have a higher high up here, more activity on the candles, right? So we have a higher high from where we ended it. And our 5061.87. So this one would be a little bit more valid. But with all of this that we're noticing when we do this, how would you guys run the play then on getting in for your buy? This is going to get crowded.
This is what I would do. I would look at my EMAs, and if price is above my EMAs, then I would get in for the buy.
Yeah, definitely. That's the exact answer. You want to go off of your EMAs and your pivot levels. And actually, what I'm going to show you too is I would change time frames from my H1 down to my M15 pivot levels to see what pivot level it's falling at on these lower time frames. Because when we go down here like this, we're looking for scalps, right? So the 1 hour pivot levels, we definitely want to know where the P4 is at. What will happen probably is the M15, the P4 will be the R8. It'll just be up higher, but it will still be one of these strong pivot levels. But they will be not as probable. They're not as strong as the 1 hour pivot levels, but we can kind of have a better idea of maybe where each level is at and how we want to trade to it or not to it. So our black line is our fib for the 15-minute, and our heartbeat zone is right here. To here. So so here, if you notice here, maybe I'll make this brown. I'll outline it in brown. Oops. Nope. $15-minute. Okay. Here is our 15-minute heartbeat zone. But also another thing to take into consideration too is we're doing a low to high off of the 1 hour, right? That's going to be more of a stronger area of where we could get in. But technically down to the 15-minute, that might not even be for our channel, right? No, it's still valid. Okay. So what I would do here is I would go ahead and go to my M15 pivot levels. So I guess what I want to say is going ahead, and I know we were going to focus, and we are, on the lower time frames, but you can kind of see how they come into play, but also I prefer the 1 hour pivot levels because I just know those are more solid. Those are more sturdy. See, we're at the S0. On the M15 pivot levels, it's currently at the P4. So my bad, it wasn't the R8, it's the other direction. It's the S0. So again, here, I wanted to push through here before I mess with it. We do our parallel channel from descending. I want you to see this. There's nothing wrong with doing this, you guys. Okay. If it continues to go down, it could go ahead and bounce off of our middle line like we know, or it continues to buy up, still staying within this descending channel and at the bottom ready for the buy up. This might be a little bit more advanced, but it doesn't have to be. You can do a descending and an ascending and a descending and ascending channel both ways so you can see the correlation.
So Anna, would you wait until the 50, until it passed the 50, or will you take it from where it is after it passed the S0 and take it all the way up to the 50? Or would you just?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So do I have it? See, I don't have it on my chart. I want to see what else is in my way here, where my 21 is at and my 9. That's how I would use my moving averages as a basis. And also I would measure how many pips I can get. Because I would trade it up to the S1, right? But if I wanted to trade it just to the 50, that's 6 pips. If this pair runs, I just don't know about this pair. And to me, 6 pips isn't worth all the heartache. I'd rather have a clean shot. Because it's right near the S, right now it's not even past the S0. Look, it's turning down. What does our LAS say? Our LAS our red LAS is just, your red LAS will look like this at times if you'll notice when it's at these major support levels, it just is unsure. So yeah, I would, at first I want to see what it looks like on my other chart. Let me see if this will be the same. Let's see. I don't think I have an M15. I'm just gonna put it on, trying to figure it all out, trying to find a chart with it, forget it. Okay, and then I want to see my 9. Oops. Oops. I make mine green with a step. So it sticks out different from all these lines. There's so many darn lines, right? And I want my SARs too. Your SARs on your lower time frame will be helpful. Okay. So now would I wait for it to get to the 50? Oh, I want my 800 too. 800 is really important too, guys. It'll show up right on your 1 minute. If it's that 800 is anywhere near, then you definitely want to, whoa, horsey. I make mine like a fence. Look at that. Look at that 800 right there. That 800 is right there, guys. What does that mean for us? Huh? What does that mean for us?
Don't take the trade.
Yeah, watch that. Watch that. Look, it's bouncing off. It's wicking off the 800. It's going to be a great area that it can go ahead and just, if it breaks through, then there's a lot of momentum there. Look, it broke through here back at 2030. That was 8 o'clock, just 2 hours ago. But look, our 800's there. So if our 800 was up here too, I wouldn't take it to the 50, but it's below us. So that's good news. So yeah. So to answer your question, would I trade it to the 50? No. I want it to pass through the 21, that black line. And then it's not even worth it. There's just not enough pips there. Okay. So now let's throw our fib on there. Do I want to do a fib from here to here? Or do I want to do a fib to here to here? Or here, you know, or starting here?
If you do it where your cursor is, of course you can get more pips. But if you do it on the second peak where the channel is, I guess it can kind of give you the
Yeah, less pips. Yeah. Yeah, it'll give you less, just a little less pips, not too
Right.
much. Not too much. We see here, we have our descending channel. Let's go ahead and throw it on there. Okay, price is at, fell below the 5061.8 area, ready to get in, sell down to the 0.115. 0.115. Okay. Okay, we did the high to low. It's at the S0. What was our 15-minute last saying? Still not up high enough for a nice strong sell. I don't like that. I wouldn't touch this. I wouldn't touch this because I just don't know this pair. My 800's right there too. So even though it's past the entry zone and past my S0, it's up on my 800. And red Laz is not giving me a wonderful entry. If it was up here and crossing down, then yeah, maybe. Or not maybe, but yeah. And then back to the fib. If we did the high to low, keep having to mark all these shade everything up. What would you guys do? Would you guys take it? Who trades this pair? That's what I should ask. Who trades this pair? A lot. I'm looking in the chat. Okay, I don't see anyone answering really. So here's our 5061.8 zone. Then we'll do with the fib going from low to high. What's this low to high fib telling us before I even draw it?
The counter trend.
Yep. I put my counter trends in black. Okay, low to high. I definitely need to box that out. Here's the entry on that. Okay, for our low to high, our entries below our entry on the sell down. What does that mean when price gets down to this area? What would that mean? I got in. I'm selling down. Woohoo! I'm gonna make it to my 0.115. Let's pretend this 800 wasn't there. I'm gonna make it. Oh, I could come into opposition because my low to high fib is at the area where price should shoot now back up. You see that? So that's why they suggest you start take a partial or maybe stop into profit right here at the 0.382. So if that did happen, at least you got a little bit of pips from when you got in. So let me just think for a minute of these lower time frame markups. What I want to say is what I do with it on Bitcoin. I use my 1 hour, you guys. I use my 1 hour markups and above. Because I know that pair, I know what it does on these lower time frames and these lower markups. I don't really lean on them that much. I don't really use them that much. But when I'm trading NAS for New York Open for the next hour, I do mark up my charts on lower time frames. So it's like dependent on the volatility, the pair, what you're doing, your lot sizes you're using. When I'm doing it in the morning, when I'm trading New York Open, using huge lot sizes. So I don't need a lot of pips. I just need a little bit. GBP, JPY. Okay. On the 15-minute, not the 50. Okay, 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame. See right here too, with the lower time frames, definitely want to use your moving averages. Best to just wait for it to get through all this. Do you guys find that to be the case, that you just have a smoother trade when you wait for it to get through these two huge moving averages?
Yes.
Right? Just a smoother ride, less stress, less management, right? They haven't had pivots on, they haven't had Bitcoin on pivots for, 3 weeks now. Can't wait. But so definitely looking at the structure, support and resistance, or maybe my moving averages. you know? Who wants to practice marking up their chart? I'll share their screen. Anyone? Anyone want to do that? I'm gonna take a picture of you guys. I'm gonna take a picture of you guys, okay? Hey. Anyone interested in doing that? I can. Okay, go, Vanessa. All right,
Hey, Vanessa.
let me change my settings. What pair are you trading?
Gold.
Oh, go girl. I love gold. Okay, go ahead. You're all set. Hi, Carla.
Hi.
Can you see the screen?
I can.
Okay.
Nice channel. Okay, so I see your let's see, ascending is Valley Peak. Yep, you got a lot of good touches. More than two, which is fine. The more the better.
I was thinking about doing the fib maybe here.
No, you start your
Start from
fib.
here.
Yeah, start your fib where
Okay.
you started your channel.
Okay.
Yep. Good question. Nice. Nice. Perfect. And then the 0.886, you guys, is the last line of the last line of defense because your 0.786 is already there. Okay, there she got it. But that one actually is already still there. Yeah. Okay, that's her suggested stop loss, like a traffic light. Slow down. Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. Oh, I forgot how to count piss on gold. Yep. Perfect. Perfect. And your TP. Uh-huh. So do you find that gold respects structure?
It does. I noticed that a lot when Lee's talking, and then also Michelle was saying how to support structure. And I've been I've been doing it a lot lately, and it's respecting structure a lot.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
totally agree. It really respects structure really nicely.
So in this one, I don't have the 21 on here. Let's see. Average.
Now, when you guys put the moving average on like she is, it always will default to 9. So just to know that it'll always default to 9. Oh, I just realized I have my annotation tool on.
It's not coming on when I double click on it.
Oh, right. Okay, now, and then when you hit right click, it doesn't. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
And then right click, and then settings. Uh-huh. And let's see what happened to your settings. There you go. Oh no, you don't want none of that. You just want, yeah, there you go. There's your settings. That's your 21?
No, that was the 9.
Oh, the 9, okay.
I meant to put the 21.
Okay. Nice. All right, so you got the heartbeat zone marked up. You got your 21 on there. And now what would you where would you put in the last step of our marking up charts? Where would you are you comfortable doing the position tool?
Okay, sure.
So you guys, she's going for the buy, so she's going to choose long. She's going to drop it at the where she gets in at. And she stopped it at the TP zone, TP area, 0.115. And now this is good that this came up. Now she's doing her risk to reward. So she's trying to hit that 2.00. So it's just a 2-to-1, risk to reward. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get it right on there, but 204 is really fine or whatever. But what I wanted to bring to your attention was those red and yellow arrows, the 0.786 and the 0.835. That's our last line defense zone, and our 0.835 is our suggested stop loss. But with this pair, as opposed to the other pair, we didn't have to go all the way down that far to get a 2-to-1 risk to reward, did we? We didn't. So that's really good. That's telling us a great entry, and we can get a good trade off of that. And we don't have to go all the way down to the suggested stop loss. Now, one thing also, well, let's just get into the analysis part. So very, very good. Yay. Go ahead. Woo.
Thank you.
Did you have questions like on that? Like you, when you do it yourself in your own, at home by yourself?
Well, normally I'll try to, what I do is normally put that alert on my trading view right in this area here.
Okay.
Just hopefully I'm next to my phone, or I have it set up on my iPad and my computer, but sometimes I'm away from those two devices. So I need to set it up on my cell phone.
Yeah. You
So-
can also use FX alerts. You can put gold on that one too.
Oh, okay. I know I couldn't put it on the indices. That's why I didn't download
Yeah,
that.
the FX alerts, it'll take gold. I
Okay.
don't think it doesn't take NAS or them, but it will take gold.
Okay, I'll set it up. And then question, I guess, with the last because right now, of course, with last is we want to wait till it starts actually going down to kind of give us a heads up that it's going to hit the 50 the heartbeat zone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, right now, it's at the P4, so it needs to go ahead and break that
Mm-hmm.
and come down. And it coming to the S2. I mean, gold, it always does go there, right?
Right.
So that's something that we just know will be inevitable. If it's not tonight, probably. Does it seem to do a lot for before market open, or is that something that market open will push it down to there, or it'll already probably be there?
I noticed it moves really strong during London sessions sometimes, but I noticed on the open bill it doesn't move like NAS, because I trade NAS, but it doesn't move as strong in the morning time for opening bill with
Okay.
NAS, but it does move, but not as strong.
Yeah. Like those are some things to think about. Like if it like just how it's set up right now, I would be saying to myself, okay, so I need it to go down to the S2 to get in for my buy. I know it's going to go there,
Mhm.
but if I wanted to do a reverse trade, right, a counter trend trade and sell down to the S2, will I be safe and not have to worry about opening bell, or will opening bell take me to my S2?
So will you do your counter trend from here to here?
Yeah, meaning meaning that if I wanted to take the sell down to the
Mhm.
S2 instead of
Oh,
waiting
gotcha.
for going with the trend,
Mm-hmm.
you can do with gold, you can go both ways. So that's sort of just like what I would be thinking to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So you'll probably wait until it breaks. If you're gonna take a sale, you probably wait till after it breaks to 21 and then
yeah,
just kind of go all the way down to the 50,
yeah,
50, and then take it back up.
yeah. Where now is that, where's the 200 on that chart?
It's not on there. Like it's just 50. Wow. Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there it is, way up there. Okay. All right. Yeah, so let's go ahead and show me your fib again, like zoom it up. And then double click so you can remove the mountains.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
You want me to-
now now condense it a little bit so I can see that peak. Okay. So to do your counter trend film, you would start at that high.
Right here.
Uh-huh. It hasn't happened yet, but
Mm-mm.
okay, so you would start at that high and you would take it down to where you got in at the 5061.8 zone. So if you got in at the 61.8, take it down to 61.8, go down to 61.8, go down to
Oh, 61.
yeah, go back up to 61.8. You end it where you get in at,
Okay, gotcha.
and then go to the right so you can pull it out. We can see the values. Oh, you can put it on line. Okay, yeah.
Can you see it? Let's see.
Oh, I even had to squish up a little bit.
This is too far. Let's see. To the left.
Okay, there it is. So you dropped it down, you got in, and then so what you would say is you'd want to know, well, where's the 5061.8? And it always normally falls at the 23.6 on your trend fib.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your 5061.8 there, and look, it's right below your 23.
Mm-hmm. Right here.
So that's why they say at the 38, you might want to move your stop into profit. So if something like that does happen, you have a risk-free trade. You're in no drawdown if it does start to push down.
Okay, so on this one here, then I can take it down to about this area.
Right now,
But no,
are you saying right now?
I mean if it breaks that
Well, no, this one right here, the one you just did now would be if you got in for the buy at the 5061.8 zone. If you got in right there to take
gotcha.
it
Okay.
up,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
then as you're going, you want to
here.
see where it could start going against you.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
right there. Because it will start selling down from that point if the sellers want to take control.
Right. Because my goal is to hit the 115,
Exactly.
but this is kind of like that you said, that counter trend to where I can take my stop into profit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you do that, as you do that more often, you'll say, oh, wow, well, at least even if you don't draw your counter trend fib, you can say, okay, at the 23.6 on my fib, my regular fib, I know that that's normally the area of the counter trend heartbeat zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to be mindful of that. And sometimes the pair, you'll see it does, when it gets to that zone, then yeah, the sellers took control and it bounced down and went back down. And then they'll retest the 5061.8 and then go back up. And then the sellers will try again and they push it down. And sometimes they push it down and succeed. Or I was doing Bitcoin earlier today and that was happening. And then Bitcoin said, forget you, I'm going up. And just continue to buy back up.
Okay, this was good. This helped me out a lot.
Great. That's so good. You definitely know it. It's really just, and that's what this calls for, is for us to just get on and do it ourselves and then kind of be like, hey, this is what's going on. And then we just practice with someone, have another set of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone have any questions? Let's give it up for Vanessa. Yay. All right, it's 10:38. I'm gonna go ahead and let me see here. Share screen too. Share. Do you guys see my pivots?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you guys some questions real quick. Oh, also here real quick, be sure to click that link so I can send you the recordings. And also now, as I've been letting you guys know, this is coming to a close. So if you're not in IM and you'd like to be and join my team, that would be great. And our intensive class, the special offer. Also, if you guys just want some one-on-one time, I'd love to be able to help you out. Feel free to reach out to me as well. And here's my contact info. All right, I'm gonna make sure I check the chat if there are any questions. Nope. Okay, here's a few test questions I want to ask you, and then we'll end the evening. If I'm on the 4-hour time frame, okay, 4-hour time frame, do I want to use the 15-minute pivot levels to mark up my chart? Or do I want to use the 1-hour pivot levels? Right. You'll want to use the 1-hour pivot levels because the 1-hour pivot levels are going to be even stronger. Now, if I had to choose between the 1-hour and the 4-hour, which one's more dominant? Yes, the 4-hour. Your higher time frames are always going to be more dominant. And what that means is that whatever data you get from drawing your fib on the 4-hour or the pivot levels on the 4-hour, those are much stronger pivot levels. The algorithm has run it on 4 hours worth of data of candles of movement with support and resistance, it bouncing and then rejecting or breaking through than a 1-hour. So it's going to be so those numbers, those pivot levels and those fib levels are a lot more stronger, a lot more reliable than the lower time frames. Doesn't mean you can't use the 1-hour time frames or those pivot levels. Just know that those are more dominant numbers. All right, very good. And then for the last line of defense, we might have to draw this out. I'm drawing it out. Last line of defense. We're going from low to high. The trend is buying. I get in at the 5061.8 area. Where is my last line of defense going to be? At the top or at the bottom? I'm in a buy. Yes, your 5061.8 is going to be towards the bottom because, excuse me, your last line of defense is going to be towards the bottom because at 78 to 88, that's almost to 100. That basically means the trend has already gone back to its original spot. It did 100% retracement. So those numbers are always going to be towards the bottom, at the bottom, right where you got in at. Very good. All right. That's the pivot levels, the last line of defense. And then for fibs, when you make the fibs, when you draw the fibs, and we didn't go over this. When you make fibs, what is the value in stair-step fibs? What are stair-step fibs? And this comes into play because sometimes you guys may be not sure where to start your fib. But remember, where you start your channel, you want to start your fib. But maybe you're unsure, and then you start the fib at a lower low, right? Because maybe you're not sure which one to pick. When you do stair-step fibs, what is the value in stair-step fibs? So that's a little tricky one. So the value there is that one, if you're not sure of the right valley to choose, the low to choose, then you have two different sets of data. But more importantly is if you do you have the stair step, you have a lower low, and then you have a higher low, and you're not sure which one to pick. If you do your fib on the lower low, not the very lowest one, and price breaks through that, then you can fall back on the lower low fib and use that data. So that's that stair step. So if it breaks through those first levels of the first fib, then you can start falling back on the next values fibs and see where that 5061.8 zone comes into play. And that came into play a lot, will come into play a lot when your pair is retracing to its zones that it would be maybe 6 months ago or last year, and you're now back to its original area, and there's a lot of support and resistance, and you're not sure which level you need to pick. And that's exactly what's been going on with Bitcoin lately. So you can go ahead and use those stair steps, and between each fib, one fib here and then another fib here, a lower fib, the 5061.8 zone for me, when I do it, it's going to be like 3,000 or 2,000 or more pips difference. But once I see it break through that first fib level, then I know, okay, it's set to the second one. I can use this value on it. So great night. All right, you guys, great session. I hope you enjoyed it. And looking forward to seeing your homework. Oh, let me take a picture of you guys too, please, one more time. I just want to go ahead and start. I'm not really doing too much promotion on these classes, and I really would like to start doing that. If you guys feel free to share your love and the value you got in the Menti homework chat, I'd appreciate that too. Any final thoughts, any questions or anything? Okay. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. This was good.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Okay, yeah.
Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Speak what is Here's